All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to talk about Terence "Bud" Crawford and the Errol Spence Jr. fight for 2023, and what Terence Crawford said he would like to do about it. And let me tell you, it is absolutely mind-boggling. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division where Terence "Bud" Crawford was interviewed by the Boxing Voice. Shout out to the Boxing Voice and the great work that they do, and was asked some questions about the Errol Spence Jr. fight in 2023. And let me tell you, what he said was very, very enlightening. And let me tell you, man, it even further lets me know that this fight is more than likely not going to happen because of Terence "Bud" Crawford. And not necessarily because he doesn't want the fight, but because, man, this dude has got to be the worst businessman dude, for people to be in boxing and say they know the business of boxing. What he said was so ludicrous that it has to make you wonder, man, what is this guy on, man? But before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. We really do have great conversations here on the channel, so make sure you guys hit that so we can continue to talk in the comment sections. Also, thank you to everybody that supports in the super chats and the cash apps, in the live streams, and in the live streams that we do. Greatly appreciate your support. This particular video, I'm going to go back to an oldie and goodie and dedicated to my man Terry Schmoot, the #1 troll on the channel. As people should know, not as you do know, not everybody agrees about boxing all the time. So you're going to disagree. But Terry Schmoot is my #1 guy to come by and say things that I do not agree with because they're so funny, man. And I know he's playing with me a little bit. But thank you so much for your support, Terry. Now let's get into this subject matter, this video. Terence Crawford is either playing, joking, or he doesn't know what he's talking about. In an interview with Ness of the Boxing Voice, and please forgive me for not recalling the name of his co-host, because they had an interview with Terence Crawford. I didn't watch the video originally because I didn't want to do too many more Terence Crawford videos, because honestly, man, as hard as it may be for some people to understand, I really kind of like Terence Crawford, and I was rooting for this fight to take place between Errol and Terence, and for the vast majority of Terence Crawford's career, man, I've been a supporter of him. I do like his skill set a lot. However, when he actually started talking more, I get an idea about why he never really did talk a lot in promoting his fights early in his career, because some of the things that leave his mouth are mind-boggling. In this particular instance, Ness asked him whether or not, he would be willing to beat somebody in his own backyard, talking about Dallas for the fight with Errol and Terence, and how in Jerry Joe's Stadium, how, they could do really big numbers. Then that is obvious, right? And then obviously it's very obvious that they could do really big numbers for the fight in Vegas. But then Terence Crawford said something that just blew my mind, man. And it should blow the mind of anybody that pays attention to boxing and has the ability to count at the same time. He said, well, yeah, but I'll tell you what I'd really like to do. I'd like to take the fight over to the UK, or I'd like to take the fight to Saudi Arabia. And it was like, hold on, man, what? like the interviewer said, literally was gonna let it slide, right? And said, wow, like wow. So why would you say wow, and why is that bananas? Because of the fact that there's no way in this planet you're gonna make more money fighting Errol Spence Jr. in any state. I don't care if it's Wembley Stadium and you put 100,000 people in there. There ain't no way that you're going to make more money fighting over there in the UK than you would fighting in Las Vegas in the same fight. And I've done videos about this. I did videos about this several years ago when the topic was Anthony Joshua. And when people were saying how much money they were making over there in the UK with Anthony Joshua, it's like, look, man, they're not making as much off of Anthony Joshua as they think they can make in the United States. And why would that be? Two reasons: tickets and cost, right? Pay-per-view tickets, actual tickets to the fight, and how much they actually charge people over there in the UK to do that. When you pack 100,000 people in the stadium, most of those people are paying $10 for those tickets. The UK is not stacking. They're not charging anywhere near as much money for fights over there to go to fights in a stadium, in a 100,000 seat stadium, as they are in Las Vegas for a big fight, or Dallas, Texas, where people are used to paying $100, $200 for seats that are nosebleed. They're not doing that over there in the UK. Also, if you look at the UK pay-per-view, UK pay-per-views are $25. The US pay-per-views are $80 and $90, right? If you just take the number of people that buy it and you multiply it times the cost, you get it. But let me give you an example, specific example. The biggest fight to take place in the UK in the last decade, right? And maybe the biggest fight to take place in the UK ever, as far monetarily speaking, is Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko. And do you know how much the revenue topped out for both the pay-per-view and the gate? It was at around $50 million. $50 million for almost 100,000 people in a stadium, and they did well over 1 million pay-per-views in the UK with a UK fighter, okay? A UK Olympic gold medalist. I'm not sure if Terence Crawford realizes this or not, but he's not from the UK. Errol Spence Jr. is not from the UK. You're not going to drive the same amount of numbers in the UK as Anthony Joshua. And even if you did, you're not going. You'll get to 50 million. If you did the same numbers as Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko, a heavyweight world championship where you had an Olympic gold medalist and a big superstar in the country there, right? In Anthony Joshua, undefeated dude, all of the above, man. You know, a model, all the stuff that he was doing at the time there. There's no way that you're going to get those. You're not going to get those numbers for a welterweight fight with two dudes from America, right? This is not if they're taking Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao over there. However, let me assure you, that's why everything that I'm telling you is the reason they didn't take Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao over there. Because they can get a gate. You're not going to get any more. I think the biggest gate that they've gotten out of the UK, out of that Wembley Stadium stuff, was like a $10 million gate. $10 million gate for the 100,000 people that were in there. It was a $10 million gate. You have gotten gates significantly higher than that in Las Vegas. You have Canelo Alvarez has done $15 and $20 million gates in the United States. I don't even want to go look up what Oscar De La Hoya's got. Man, they were doing bigger gates than that, much bigger gates than that in Las Vegas with Mike Tyson. It's absolutely silly, man, to hear him say that, man, because that's not a matter of being a boxing insider. That's a matter of just looking up the gates, the history of the gates, and being able to multiply. Now, what was his rationale? His rationale was mind-boggling, because the other guy, again, man, actually the dude talks about Chicago being a Chicago Bear fan, so I like him. Even though that's hard to be that. Trust me, I'm a Chicago Bears fan. He says, hold on, man. That doesn't, there's no way that you're going to get that type of money out there, man. And it's just like, come on, man. And then and then he says, because, they support people, but they support their own fighters, and plus there's not a lot of other stuff to do in the UK. So they really support boxing because they have fewer sports, right? So Terence Crawford latched onto that and said, yeah, see, that's what I mean. You made my argument for me. What? You made your argument for you? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, there's not as much to do out there, so they'll come watch the fight. Wow, Terence, no. Wow, no, Terence, no. They're trying to tell you that you're dead wrong, but Terence Crawford would not listen, man, and is so self-righteous in it that it's like, man, do you realize how you just said something that is basically so fundamentally wrong, but yet you're riding with it as if these guys are talking to you and you just proved a point? It's, man, stop, man, stop. You know what I mean? Like, stop. That was just this. You cannot tell me this guy's not going to talk himself out of money. Okay? You cannot tell me that if that is the type of conversations he's having in negotiations with Al Heyman, that guy's not talking himself out of money. Because that, and then at the end of the day, turning around and saying, hey, man, yeah, but I get that upfront money. Now, and he said that. He's like, I get that upfront money. Yeah, if we go to Saudi Arabia, we get that upfront money. That upfront money. Man, upfront money is almost always short money. You might as well be saying, yeah, I'm going to get that short money. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out and absolutely perplexed. Deuces.